All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's make sure you guys can hear me. And welcome to another Star Wars Fanatic live stream. These have been few and far between. I need to do a little bit more of them, but with my schedule the way it is right now, I just try to find a little time here and there that I can do it. So thank you all for joining me. It looks like we got about 5 viewers right now. 5. Invite your friends. Tell them all about it. Let's bring them in here. So how's everybody doing today? Let's hear it in the comments. And also, if you haven't noticed, in the comments, I do have a poll of who should lead the Mandalorians. Possibly shouldn't be a who should lead, but who will lead. Who do you think will lead? We all know Boba Fett should lead, but we'll see what happens with it, I guess. And we got Patrick, Boba, son of Django, Dawn, DR, Charlie, and John. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my cave. As you can see, I've got Bo-Katan right up there. Let's see if I can point to it right there. We go, right here. There's Bo-Katan. Yep, got that one for Christmas. Pretty happy about it. And there's a lot going on in Star Wars now. Wow, with the Bad Batch being what it is. And Kyle, good to see you. And with the Bad Batch doing what it's doing, let me know in the comments there what you think about the Bad Batch so far. The first few episodes, I know my reviews were a little disappointing, a little bit mean-spirited probably, but I get up at 3 a.m. to watch these things. Actually, I get up at 2 so I can prepare myself, make my coffee and whatnot. Then I watch it at 3 a.m., then I go off to work. But while I'm making the review, I'm a bit tired, so I'm probably a bit grumpy when I do my reviews. Follow. Yeah. And so the first few episodes, my reviews were a little, I don't know, how do you say, not the best reviews ever. That's a good point, Patrick. It's a good point. He does live for a long time, so we'll see how that goes. Now, we all know we want Boba Fett to lead. At least some of us do, me included. Probably one of the biggest Boba Fett fans there ever was, other than somebody that's sitting around in their underwear with Boba Fett underwear on and Boba Fett socks, Boba Fett slippers, and some Boba Fett t-shirt. Yeah, I mean, owning merch doesn't really make you a bigger fan, but yeah, I'm a huge Boba Fett fan, and I hope they go with the original legend stories of Boba Fett becoming the Mandalore. Um, that was a great story back in the day, and it was great for Star Wars fans. But Dave Filoni recently, I don't know, within the last 6 months, I guess, did an interview where he said that what's the big deal? Boba Fett isn't that wonderful. He didn't really do anything. Well, we'll get into that. And Dr. Disrespect Highlights, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love my channel too. I love you guys. You guys are all great. DR. Yuck image? Huh? My face? My face is yuck. Okay. Zlatan, good to see you, buddy. Haven't seen you in a while, man. Yeah, Din Djarin, let's get into that first. So I'll go down the poll as to people I think should rule Mandalore or lead the Mandalorian people. I don't like the word rule so much because it makes it sound like they're ruling with an iron fish. Yeah, and if you didn't notice, that's in the Clone Wars, that episode where Boba's transporting that girl that he didn't know was in the box. The Before they started, the one assistant guy of the alien species said our leader rules with an iron fish, and it sounds like he says an iron fish, and I'm sitting here picturing him slapping people with a fish, you know. I just thought it was funny, so I use that a lot, and I don't like the word rule because it makes it sound like, you know, they're ruling with an iron fish. I like lead better. Leaders lead, rulers sit back and watch. And in the case of Mandalorians, I don't see many of the leaders sitting back just watching and letting people go. But let's go back with the poll. Okay, so first up we got Din Djarin. Should Din Djarin lead the Mandalorians? Well, if we go by him being the title character, it's probably going to happen. He's the title character, and he's a Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau creation. And why would they create him as the title character if he's not going to lead? It's the only real reason I got. He has the Darksaber, but if you look at the Darksaber, it was never really a right to lead the Mandalorians. Never. Tar Vizsla, when he became the leader of the Mandalorians as a Jedi, he gave the Darksaber over. He gave it up. Oh, about all the Boba merch. Good one, Patrick. I'll be showing some more here in a little bit. So the Darksaber was never a right to lead until Maul came along and won it from Pre Vizsla. Then everybody's like, oh, he has the right to lead. Well, no, he really just had the right to lead House Vizsla because that's where the Darksaber had been for generations, in House Vizsla. And he took it from Pre Vizsla. Almost a usurpation, if you will. So just because Din Djarin has the Darksaber, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to lead. It's just the way it's been throughout Star Wars history, all back to the Clone Wars, which is a Dave Filoni creation. Filoni, like baloney. No, I don't hate Dave Filoni at all. Thanks, DR. I appreciate it. So Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan is also a Dave Filoni creation. She was created for the Clone Wars, and she was an amazing character in the Clone Wars, in Rebels, and now in The Mandalorian. I know I've been caught calling her a Karen once in a while, and maybe that's disrespectful to women. And sorry for that, but I mean, there are other words that are worse that I could have called her during season 2 of The Mandalorian, but I did not. Called her a Karen. Shoot me. Well, DR, everything's dark for a reason. Star Wars has been on the light side for a long time. I mean, bright pictures, bright this, bright that. Everything's been bright. But for now, they're going with a little darker theme just to balance it out because light and dark balance each other. Haha, see what I did there? Anyways, so Bo-Katan has been the Mandalore before. She made some mistakes. If you saw my last video I just posted an hour or so ago, you'll see my reasons why Bo-Katan could probably lead the Mandalorians. I'll be making another video on it and her atonement for her transgressions, as you would say. How she, when she was entering the water. Okay, let's go back. Din Djarin, when he's entering the living waters. And by the way, there is a spoiler warning here. There somewhere. Let's see if I can point to it. Right there. Spoiler warning for The Mandalorian Season 3. So, Din Djarin, when he's entering the water, it's quick. He walks in, boom, drops down. There's not much hovering of the camera on him for that moment. This is supposed to be his big moment where he's atoning for his sins and he's going to be redeemed and all this stuff, but boom, sinks down to the bottom. So what happens when you wear metal armor into water? You can't swim very well in it. Why'd you take your jetpack off, buddy? Anyway, so he gets in, it's quick. Bo-Katan gets in the water. It's not quick. They hover on her for a minute. They even close up on her hands, feeling in the water. There's something to that. This is Bo-Katan's atonement. This is her redemption. This is where she's probably going to become something bigger than what we've seen her in the other seasons, or season. She's going to learn how to unite the Mandalorians. Okay, so that's Bo-Katan. Boba Fett. Boba Fett's got everything going for him. He's already a strong warrior. He's already becoming wise as to how to lead people and not be a tyrant, and not how to have people warring with each other. He's got rid of heads of clans already, heads of, or bosses, or whatever you want to call them. And he knows what he's doing already, and he's getting comfortable in that position. Now, how he would lead Mandalorians, who all think they all deserve to lead, would be another story. And then you have the Legends material where Boba Fett becomes the Mandalore and does a great job, brings Mandalore into prosperity, into a higher prosperity than they have seen. Um, Pelimato talking about Boba and saying, "Are you the Hutt's back? We're here to take out Boba Fett." I think that was a throwaway line, honestly, because I don't I don't see Boba Fett ruling as a tyrant there. Why would he? And Peli was there in the battle. She knows that Boba and Din Djarin are friends. I don't know why she would say that. So I think it's more of a throwaway line, like she's just wanting some drama or something. You know, I don't know how that goes. But if anybody didn't know, the woman who plays Peli Motto also was in Elf, and she played uh, what's his name, Buddy's father's secretary at his office. If you guys didn't know that, just thought you should know. All right. So Boba Fett, in my opinion, has a stronger case to become Mandalore so far. Then we have Grogu, because he's cute. And that would be the only reason that Grogu would become Mandalore. Because as of right now, Grogu can't even speak. He doesn't even talk. He doesn't understand how to fully control his gift. Um, he doesn't understand what it is to be a Mandalorian yet. He's still learning, as we see with Din Djarin and him in the N1 Naboo Starfighter. He's telling Grogu, you also have to learn to navigate. You can't just learn to fight. You have to learn to navigate the galaxy so you're never lost. That's part of being a Mandalorian. And, huh, yeah, yeah, Eric, that's a good point as well. Let's see. There's a lot of comments here, so take me a second. All right, so Grogu, really, like I said, it's because he's cute. That's why people want him to become Mandalore. I don't see that he has anything right now that could make him be a strong leader. He doesn't really understand what he's got himself into. He just knows he loves his daddy, and he's going to protect his daddy. Dad. I should say dad, shouldn't I? XYLYXYLYX. Thank you. um, just maybe they got a reason not to show anything about him until now. Well, true. They like keeping their secrets close to the hip. They don't like, or close to the vest. They don't like exposing everything they're gonna show in one episode. If you remember in the first episode, it was more of a meet and greet. Hey, how you doing? How you been since the last time we talked? You know, that's basically what episode one was. He went and met Greek Karga. He went and saw Bo-Katan. Went and saw Pelimato, and acquired R5D4, and it just became this meet and greet. So Boba Fett was not in that meet and greet, and he went to Tatooine. So there's a reason they skipped out on Boba Fett, because I think it's going to be something bigger. All right, so those are my reasons. My reasons why I think either Boba Fett or Bo-Katan will probably end up leading. I'd like Boba Fett, um, but the way it's going right now, it looks like it's going to lean closer to Bo-Katan. It won't be the armorer. Just saying. And can we stop calling her that? Can we please call her Rook Cast? We know that's who she is. Uh, it's just getting annoying at this point. Let's give her a name. It's 3 seasons in. Yeah, the last Bad Batch episode was really good. And it's really baffling me how the Bad Batch episodes that are really good don't have Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, or Omega. It seems like there's no development of those characters coming out. And it's not that it's a bad show. It's not at all. I'm enjoying the little adventures. I love the little Easter egg of the Zepho robot, and I like all that stuff. I even kind of like Feed Genoa, kind of, although I don't think Wanda Sykes really belongs in Star Wars. The character was okay. She's going to serve a purpose later on, and that's going to be assisting Sid in turning over the Bad Batch. Yeah, Boba might not want to be the Mandalore. And it's not that he doesn't feel up to the position. It's because he's been detached from Mandalorian society ever since his dad died. Um, Ever since his father was killed. And he'd heard stories, I'm sure, of Jango Fett during the time of the Mandalorian Civil Wars about how Mandalorians are just these crazy, dramatic people who all want to just rule themselves. And that's one thing, Zlatan, that really upset me about the book of Boba Fett. I don't think it should have been Grogu who tamed the Rancor. The Rancor had imprinted itself on Boba Fett, or Boba Fett imprinted on the Rancor, um, in that scene with Machete. I mean, Danny Trejo. Um, Boba Fett should have been the one to tame the Rancor. It was his. He was imprinted on it. That was just another moment to show cute Grogu going to sleep next to a giant Rancor. And everybody, don't get me wrong. I don't hate Grogu at all. He's coming into his own. If he would have continued being just the cute guy from season 1 or season 2, then yeah, I'd be like, okay, can we develop this guy a little bit? All we're doing is showing cute moments, and he's kind of this comedic outlet for Star Wars, and it's it was really starting to be like, okay, come on, he's good merchandise. Where did Boba go after fighting Bane? He stayed in town. What do you mean? Or journeyman protectors that want Jango's armor back. Huh. Well, they're not getting it. Bo-Katan. We'll have Grogu. We'll tame the beast to get her butt on it. Yeah. See, and I'm pulling for Bo-Katan actually right now. I know I've made a lot of videos saying that Boba Fett's going to be the Mandalore and all this stuff, and I'm allowed to be wrong, and I'm allowed to backtrack on what I say, I guess, um, if other evidence presents itself that is compelling. And that evidence has started to present itself in Bo-Katan, where last season I made a video saying Bo-Katan should not lead. Um, this season I made a video, two of them actually, where Bo-Katan could possibly lead, and I'd be okay with it. I always laugh on your videos when you say Book of Din Djarin. I mean, the Book of Luke Skywalker. Yeah, because, I mean, is Boba Fett going to get 2 episodes of The Mandalorian or Ahsoka? Nah. And if they ever make a Luke Skywalker series, is Boba Fett going to get an episode or 2 of that? Nah. I don't know why they took 2 out of 7 episodes and gave them to Din Djarin and Luke Skywalker. That just made no sense to me. I know they wanted to show how Grogu got back to Din Djarin, but did we have to see it? Couldn't it have waited till The Mandalorian season 3 as an opener? That would have been a good way to bring Boba Fett into The Mandalorian in season 3. It's just my thought. Yeah, true, Captain Hal. He didn't want it in Legends either. It kind of just happened on him. Right. Exactly, Captain. Exactly. And guys, these comments are coming in really fast. So if you want them to stand out, I'm not going to decline any kind of super chats or anything. I'll gladly accept it. And when I started this channel, um, it was for fun. I just wanted to talk about Star Wars. And that's still what it is to me. It's still fun. And I believe if you're going to pick a career, pick something you like. So I'd like this to be my career because I love doing it. I love sitting in front of these 2 monitors, this microphone, and this camera all the time. I love doing it. I love doing my voiceovers, writing scripts, and talking about Star Wars with you guys. I love reading the comments and commenting back. I don't get to comment back as much as I'd like to, but I do try to read every comment. And I mean every comment. Even if there's 1,000 comments on a video, I'll read it. It might take me a week or 2, but I'll go through and I'll read it. And if I'm laying in bed or something on a weekend, I'll go there. I can slow the chat. Huh. Yeah, I want to go to Disney World again. Pfft, who doesn't? That place is amazing. I don't care what anybody says about Disney. They know how to entertain me. They know how to feed me, and they know how to put me up for the night. So, yeah, I mean, Galaxy's Edge is a wonderful place. And as much as a lot of people hate the sequel trilogy, not one person in Galaxy's Edge said, I hate this place because it's based on the sequel trilogy. Not one person I talked to, and I talked to a lot of people there, and not one person said, wow, this place sucks. I wish they'd do something else. No, they loved it. Everybody I talked to loved it, said, wow, this is so amazing. Um, yeah, if you get a chance to DR, definitely go and spend about a week there, maybe two, if you can afford it. Because I'm ready to go back. As soon as I pay a little bit of debt down, I just may have to do that. My wife's birthday next year. I'm planning something big for her. I want to take her out of town or something, or do something amazing with her, just to celebrate her birthday. So I'm gonna uh, I'm gonna surprise her and just make her go to Disney World. She won't like that. She likes Disney World, okay, and everything, but she's not a fan of it the way I am. As soon as I see Cinderella's castle, I'm like, ah, I'm home. I've been twice, and I just love it there. In the 70s, you definitely need to go back, Darth Maudie Bell. Definitely. Yeah, recent episodes of The Bad Batch, titled Outpost, was likely foreshadowing of redemption arc Crosshair. Also, do you think the Clone Force 99 will rescue Crosshair? I think his redemption's going to come at a cost. Like I said in one of my videos recently, that I think he's becoming part of the Dark Trooper project. Now, whether he becomes a full fledged Dark Trooper or if it's interrupted or something like that's another story, which it could be. It very well could be interrupted and stopped and he could get rescued. Um, but his redemption is going to come at a cost. He's not going to just join back up with the Bad Batch and the Empire and say, "Oh, okay, you go ahead, you go on with your little buddies," because it's not going to happen. They're going to kill him. He's going to die. And that's sad to say because Crosshair is my favorite character of this show so far, other than Wilco and Trevor. No, his name wasn't Trevor. What was his name? The captain from the first season. Um, I also liked Mayday. He was cool. I liked his armor, the way he had it wrapped. That was really neat. If I had room for another mannequin in here, I'd make armor like that. As y'all can see, oh, he's back here. Jeff. There's Jeff. Didn't mean to point at his junk. Jeff. And along with wanting to become um, this great YouTuber and everything and make a career out of it, Jeff back there is going to be a catalyst for something else. Captain Hauser, that's it, Zlatan. Thank you. Um, so, Jeff, I will be wearing and going to our local children's hospital and visiting sick children once I am freed up from the trappings of modern workforce. How much did I pay for the props behind me? Which ones? The Jeff. A lot of Jeff was donated to me. Some by my wife, some by other people. I think altogether I probably have about, I don't know, 1,000 to 1,200 invested in him. Um, the figures, as you can see, the Hot Toys figures, the two Boba Fett's and the Death Watch Mandalorian. The two Boba Fett's were donated to me, and the Death Watch Mandalorian was, I want to say, 300. The Bo-Katan helmet I got for Christmas. I got two more helmets up here too, a Boba Fett and a Stormtrooper, and got all those for Christmas. The Darth Vader back there, Christmas. The droid, that's from Droid Depot down in Disney World. He's down here, right there. I named him R606 or Bob. Um, blame the Muns for the credits. Yeah. I am almost at 25K. I'm pretty proud of that. And do you guys know what that means? If you are on this channel right now and you're watching me and you're interacting with all these fine folk in the comments and all that, hit that subscribe button, because 25,000 mark's going to be as funky fresh as the 5,000 was and the 10,000 was. And DR's Latin, I know you guys remember that one. Dawn, I know you all remember what the 5,000 and the 10,000 subscriber mark was like. Yes, there will be a live stream and there is a giveaway. I have to get with my guy to make sure he still has the gift to give away. Haven't talked to him in a few weeks, but I'm pretty sure it's still there and it's still ready to go. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, it's not going to come up. Really? Okay, hang on a second. Let me figure this out. I got this on my little stream deck dude here. And my mouse isn't working. Yay! What kind of fanatic live stream would this be if I didn't have technical problems? My mouse stopped working. My little stream deck didn't pop up what I wanted it to. It's still not. Oh, there goes my mouse. Cool. Let's see here. Stormtrooper. Oh, I gotta move it. Gotta move it up the ladder. All the way up the ladder. Come on. That is the giveaway for 25,000 subscribers. It's going to go to one lucky subscriber. It'll be a random subscriber. Subscriber. Mouth not worky. Yeah, it's the Death Watch, Mando. Don't drink alcohol again? Oh, come on, Zlatan. You know I like embarrassing myself. But yes, I will be doing a few shots of my favorite Kentucky-made drink, if you guys can put two and two together on that. So yeah, that's the 25,000 subscriber giveaway right there. I'm not sure if it'll be my last giveaway or if I'll probably do more. If I ever get some sponsors on here that I don't have to say, hey, another word from our sponsor, me, which I'm not the sponsor anymore. So welcome to Gerald the producer. It was a fun stream. Yeah, and I'm not going to do it at 10 a.m. again, Zlatan. That one's going to be more like probably a 3 in the afternoon type thing, because I need to be able to function for the day. Somehow, after the one stream, I forget which one it was, I went upstairs and I did some drywall work. Don't remember it. Don't remember ending the stream even. Don't remember the drywall work. But I did an awesome job on the drywall. I looked at it the next day. I was like, when did I do this? Well, it's like, did that yesterday after you were drunk on your stream. It's like, oh, would you look at that? I actually did pretty good. Yes, I'm actually kind of jealous, DR, that I don't get to keep that. I won't even get to look at it. It'll go straight from the donor to you guys, whoever gets it. So yeah, once I hit that 25,000 mark again, let's see where we're at now. We're at 24,202. That means 798 more subscribers to go, and we will be hitting that 25K. So there's going to be a Stormtrooper giveaway and a little embarrassment on my part from some Kentucky vintage. So let's get back to Star Wars. Yeah, no, tequila is not my friend at all. I learned that at a very young age. Tequila is not my friend. Tequila lies to me. It says it's got my back. It doesn't. It abandons me and evacuates as soon as it can, and does not be my friend one bit. Oh, yeah. So, all right. So we've talked about Bo-Katan. We've talked about Crosshair. And honestly, Crosshair is my favorite character of the Bad Batch. I'm really loving how developed he's getting and how underdeveloped everybody else is. It's just weird to me. Let me go ahead and shut this Stormtrooper guy off. If you didn't hear it, if you're just joining me, that Stormtrooper is for the 25,000 subscriber giveaway. Boink. Gone. Now, I think I can get rid of the spoiler warning because there are spoilers in The Mandalorian Season 3, The Bad Batch, and whatever else I want to talk about. I don't hold back, by the way, when it comes to uh, creating content. I don't hold back. I will give a spoiler warning in the beginning, but I don't do spoiler-free videos. Um, to me, it's just a way for creators to make 2 videos, and I only want to make one. And I want to talk about what I want to talk about. I'll try not to put spoilers in the title or the thumbnail. Sometimes I mess up and I do it, but then I hurry up and change it as soon as somebody calls me out for it. All right, Alex, good to see you. Let the remnant stormtroopers survive the Battle of Endor. Oh, cool. So who's excited for Jedi Survivor? That's going to be a fun game. Knocked you on your back end. Huh? Who's excited for Jedi Survivor? Hang on, let me grab something up here real quick. Because I just got this in the mail the other day, and I haven't read it yet. It takes me forever to read a book. Hopefully I can get it read before the new game comes out. How long have I been a Star Wars fan? Woo. You see all these grays here? Since 1977. Since opening day of Star Wars, or now as it's called, A New Hope. I do. As you can see down, let me get my finger pointing right there. Those are all Star Wars comics. All of them. So I read a lot of Star Wars comics. Yeah, I probably won't stream Jedi Survivor when it comes out just because everybody else is going to do it. And like I said, I like to keep it funky fresh. And I can't keep it funky fresh if I'm doing what everybody else is doing. Oh, it's a bad book? I think I paid like $10 for it on Amazon. So I'm not disappointed. Let me see here. There was a moment, just a moment, when Seer was grasping the Inquisitor from... Spoiler. Shutting up. You get a saber hilt? That's awesome. Yep, the year Star Wars was born and Elvis died. That's how long I've been around. I remember both events very well. I also remember John Lennon's death. That was horrible. And John Bonham's, for that matter. True story. Hang on. Let me see if I can do this right. Let's see what I got here. Where is it? Where is my little button? Here we go. One moment. Oh, really? You're not going to come on? Okay, whatever. Story time with Star Wars Fanatic. True story. My mother was at the very last Led Zeppelin concert in Berlin, Germany when we lived there. So, yeah, good question, David. So, just a little bit of history there. I also have a piece of the Berlin Wall upstairs on display that I got from the Berlin Wall. Do it left if you can't do it right. Yeah, so the poll is still up. So anybody that hasn't voted yet, go ahead and do so. It's had 51 votes. You're already a dinosaur. Nah, Dawn, you're not that old. Come on. But we old timers have been around since the beginning of this franchise, and it's an amazing feeling. And the franchise is going to be around a lot longer than me. I'd like to see all the Star Wars concluded by the time I go, but you know what? Let my next generation carry it on. Yeah. A little depressing there. Just a little depressing. Hang on, I got something here. Where's that at? It's my new toy. Oh, yeah. Oh. So you can zoom in to see your favorite figures back there. I can zoom all the way out to here. You can see my Boba helmet and part of the Stormtrooper helmet. And the rest of my cave. Yeah, there's a big sign back there that says Gerald. That was for my 50th birthday. Let me zoom back in a little bit. See, yeah, that's my new toy. Yeah, if you guys are just new joining this live stream and this is your first Star Wars Fanatic live stream, it's really laid back and casual. We do a lot of chit chatting about different things, um, and just hanging out. We talk about Star Wars mostly, but most of the time I'm just reading your comments and trying to engage with you guys. You'll be you'll be in 12 days. Well, if we don't have a live stream before then, Dawn, happy birthday. If I don't get to see you, I might be able to send you a message on Instagram and tell you. And speaking of which, I was thinking about getting rid of my Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, uh, all accounts of it, because I really don't use them all that much. I post on my Facebook once in a while, just when I make videos or if I go out of town, post pictures of the wife and I or the kids and I, and it's about it. I don't really talk to anybody on there, and I don't really engage with many people on my regular Facebook. So I was thinking about getting rid of that. Twitter, I think I have like 9 followers on there. So, I mean, I've been doing that for a few years and it's still nothing. Um, wow, 3 years old when the Phantom Menace came out. It's about the same age my son was. I can write and direct a Boba Fett. Well, I could write it at least for Boba Fett season 2. I'm just reading comments, sorry guys. Yeah, Twitter is gross. It's disgusting. I don't know what Elon Musk has done with it and if he's done anything or if Twitter's always been like that, but it's just weird now. Um, you can't say anything on there without somebody wanting to cancel you. I mean, I could say, "Hey, I ate a hot dog today," and they're like, "Is that a gay joke?" And then it goes on and on and on from there. And when literally all I meant was I hate a hot dog. Um, yeah, it is what it is, though. They can have their little area. I just don't have to be a part of it. Yes, let's get back to that, Captain. Thank you for bringing me back on track. So, about 6 months ago, Dave Filoni pretty much said that he doesn't understand what the big deal is about Boba Fett. He didn't really do anything. He's he didn't even catch Han Solo. He just called him when he captured him. Well, his job wasn't to catch Han Solo, it was to find Han Solo. It was to track Han Solo. And that's what he did. And he was successful. Now, had Boba Fett not been successful in that mission, we would have seen no I Am Your Father the way we did. There would have been no Cloud City stuff the way we did. Lando would have been introduced in a different way, if at all. Um, the whole Jabba the Hutt scene and Return of the Jedi never would have happened. Um, and so much of Star Wars would not have happened had it not been for Boba Fett. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Eric, I agree. When I first saw it, that for all you younger chaps out there and ladies, 1977 was a time before even VCRs. If you didn't have the movie on 8 millimeter reel or Super 8 or whatever it was called back then, you didn't get to watch it again. You had to wait till it came back to theaters. So we had to rely on things like records of the movie, which means albums, vinyl, um, or cassettes of the movie. And they weren't always complete. You didn't get the whole story. You just got a quick rundown of it because there wasn't enough room on a cassette to put a 2.5 hour movie. Ah, no disintegrations. um, no, not Robert Rodriguez again. No, let's not do that. I would love to give the project to Rick Famuyiwa. Um, I think he'd do an amazing job. Taika Waititi is an amazing director. I love everything he does. I love the Thor movies. Yeah, I said it. I love the Thor movies. But he's too comedic, and I don't think that would fit right in Boba Fett. So Rick Famuyiwa has this touch with Star Wars that each episode he directs in The Mandalorian, I'm just dumbfounded. I'm like, wow, this dude's incredible. Yeah, radio shows. Yeah. So Rick Famuyiwa is by far my favorite director in the Mandalorian universe, aside from Jon Favreau, who of course has the golden ticket because he created the thing. Love and Thunder wasn't all that bad for me, but I'm not deep in the Marvel universe like some people are. I'm more of a casual Marvel fan where I just go to see it and be entertained. I couldn't tell you what cameos, Easter eggs, or anything are in any of those movies because I haven't got into the Marvel comics since probably 1979, 1980. Um, that's a long time ago. So I couldn't tell you what's been in them. Oh, yeah, Taika Waititi is Chester Muriel. I don't know. He's a little too funny to be Chester Muriel. Yeah, you're right. See, I don't know who Eternity is. So I'm not real big up on the Marvel stuff. That's why Love and Thunder didn't bother me because I don't really know much about Marvel anymore. Yeah, Daniel Logan would be a good job or do a good job. So last weekend, my wife and I took a long weekend, went down to Gatlinburg, Tennessee again. You might have seen my post on the community tab on YouTube. We went to Gatlinburg because I just needed to get away. We promised each other we wouldn't do any vacations this year, just so we could get caught up on some things. But I just, I had to get away. So I surprised her. I rented a cabin. We went down there. I went further into debt. But while we were down there, as always, in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, there's a outlet mall called the Tanger Outlet Mall. And I love going there because one, they have the Vans store, and I like wearing Vans. And two, they have the Disney store outlet. And I love going there because they always have something neat in Star Wars. And this time, neat, I got this. Yep. Just a little die-cast Boba Fett starship. Slave One. Let's call it Slave One. Thanks, Patrick. And if you can see, like, it doesn't do anything really special. It just pops open. But as you can see there are 5 seats in the cockpit, which is pretty nifty. But look at the colors of it. It's like a gray, red, and green. Is that hinting at something or did they just screw up? Because I don't think they just screwed up because they made the fins the right color. Yeah. Checkerboard slip-ons, absolutely. The original Vans. I remember having a pair of those back in 84 or 85. Yeah, so I picked up that for $10 at the Disney store, and I also got a new T-shirt because I'm sorry to say I had to retire the Mythosaur skull shirt that I used to wear all the time. It just got too old. It was time for it to go. So when I get rid of something, I replace it with something new, and I got a new Star Wars shirt, and I was happy for that. Wow, Patrick, that's awesome. Thank you, man. Oh, no, I haven't done that yet. I was saving that for right now, actually, Eric. Thank you. Okay, so the whole premise of my title and thumbnail is that Bo-Katan Kryze and Crosshair have become the most interesting characters to me in The Mandalorian and The Bad Batch. Bo-Katan is becoming well-rounded. I mean, they've developed her character so well now that it's just awesome. Um, I just, it, it was great. Um, Din Djarin hasn't been developed all that much. He's still lumbering around with the dark saber. Can't use it 2 years after he got it, and it's confirmed that he has had it for 2 years because that's when Grogu went off to train with Luke Skywalker. It's been 2 years. Jon Favreau said this. So Din Djarin's really not developing all that much. Who is developing is Bo-Katan. Grogu's inching his way along. Grief Karga has developed from a scoundrel to high magistrate, but still not much character development there. So Bo-Katan. And then there's Crosshair, who is really the only developed character in the Bad Batch so far. It's kind of weird. Oh, thanks. Everybody, Jen does the Zen Yoga is my wife, if you didn't know. Thanks, baby. Appreciate it. I hope you didn't hear the bit about surprising you for with Disney World for your birthday. It's not true. It's not going to happen. Okay. So, yeah. Bo-Katan and Crosshair have become the most developed characters of these two series, and I'm loving both of them. They're keeping me hanging on. Not that it takes much to keep me hanging on to Mandalorian lore. It doesn't. I mean, that's my favorite of all the Star Wars universes, Mandalorians, as you can tell with the merch and whatnot all around. But uh, Crosshairs really kept me in check with the Bad Batch, because there were a couple times when I was like, okay, I'm not going to watch this anymore. Um, these side missions are getting repetitive. They're going off on these little missions for Sid, who I don't understand why she's still there. Um, and they're coming back empty handed. They fail every mission. Well, then I realized something that, it's building up to something bigger. Um, no, I'm sorry you hate Disney. I mean, Apple's a huge conglomerate too, and so is AT&T. We still buy iPhones. We still use AT&T. Well, we don't. We use somebody else, but a lot of people use AT&T, and I have in the past. Um, but yeah, so Crosshair and Bo-Katan are the best characters to come out. I don't remember what else I really need to start taking notes before I start these live streams so I can know what I'm thinking at the time that I make the thumbnail and the title. I made it at like 6 this morning, I want to say. Um, yeah, so if you haven't noticed, I've learned some new tricks with the Photoshop to make better thumbnails now, too. Or at least I think they're better. If you guys don't like them, let me know. Tell me how stupid they are. I won't be offended or upset. Um, but yeah, so Crosshair is really keeping me on the Bad Batch. It isn't Wrecker. It isn't Hunter. It isn't Tech. They're all the same person from season one to now. It isn't Omega. Although Omega really needs to be developed a little bit more. We need to understand what the heck she is. What's her enhancement? I mean, I think she's force sensitive. A lot of people don't, but that's okay. We don't all have to think of the same thing. We don't all have to believe the same thing. And when I'm proved wrong, then I'll say, good morrow to you, sir. Um, sorry, just I get sidetracked a lot easily. I guess I got ADHD or something, or maybe it's all the coffee I've drank today. That can't be it. It's mostly decaf. So, um, yeah, so Crosshair's really keeping me into it. It just sucks that he's only been in 2 episodes of this whole season out of 12 episodes. What kind of crap is that? Talk about keeping us hanging on. But then again, the Purrgil showed up in season 2 of Rebels and then didn't show up again until season 4. So 2 years later. Now we can binge it and say, oh, it wasn't that much time. But back then when we were watching it, we are like, oh, space whales. Yeah, I remember them. And they've been gone for 2 years. Why bring them back now? Because Dave Filoni plays the long game. And I do mean long. He just stretches it out as far as he can. And if The Mandalorian's going to be 5 or 6 seasons, it's going to take a long time to get all this culminated. Hunter needs a redemption arc. Worst things. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Captain Hal. Yeah, if she gets kidnapped. I mean, they tried it once before. The Kaminoans did. The Prime Minister and Lamasu, or Tonwi. Maybe it's just Lamasu. Yeah, I don't know. Two of the Kaminoans hired two different hitmen to pick her up or kill her, and neither were successful. So we'll see if she gets caught this season or if it's in season 12. May not learn anything for another 5 seasons. How we see it was chapter 3. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Crosshair's the new Boba Fett. Never shows up, barely talks. We have to imagine the clone replacement with conscripts. Animating that would take too long. Yeah, I mean, they don't have to show it all, but I mean, at least stick with the bigger story for a little while. Maybe do an arc of it instead of just one episode. Hey, remember this? Clones are turning away. Back to a bad mission where the Bad Batch don't succeed. Yay! And everybody cheers. Yeah, and I want to know where Cody is, if they're ever going to show him again. I mean, we saw him in, what, the third episode, second or third episode, and then we didn't see him again. That was 9 episodes ago. Yeah, yeah, agreed, DR. Um, they really kind of dropped the ball in the Book of Boba Fett. It's not that I don't like the show. I do. It's entertaining and it's fun to watch and everything, but it's out of character. Um, Boba Fett just seems incompetent. Where in the Mandalorian season 2, he was a badass. Now he's just this guy that's like, hang on, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's just go give him a hug. A hug. We'll beat him with hugs. Who are you? Are you a different clone in Boba Fett's armor? Come on. Yeah, Omega's safe. Nothing's gonna happen to her. She's got plot armor. Oh yeah. Pike's let loose a rancor. 15 minutes on that stupid scene building that in one. Oh, I know. Why? Why did we need an 80s montage of them building the N1 Naboo starfighter? I mean, pretty much that thing was fan service. Um, because it looked like the one that Anakin used to take down the droid ship. And I'm sounding really negative right now, but I'm not. I mean, I enjoy that he has that starfighter now, but they didn't need to take 15 minutes to build it. That could have waited till this season. I mean, he went in episode 1 to visit Peli Motto and came out with a broken ass droid. That was it. That was the only reason for him to be there, other than to say hello and Grogu say his first word. Peli, that's what people say anyway. That was his first word. If that's his first word, then I'm gonna be like, man, Grogu, you've seen her like 3 times. You see Papa all the time, and you couldn't say his name first. That's how dads are, though. Dads get disrespected when it comes to the kids. Kids don't usually say their dad first. Well, sometimes they do, but it's just like duh 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 duh. That's not saying dada. That's just mumbling. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they replaced the dome with the astromech port. That was kind of dumb. Yeah, right, John. They should have put that in a museum or something. It, instead, they just scrap it out to the Jawas or whatever. Hey, y'all remember that kid that was up here just a bit ago and he blew up that big ball in the sky? Yeah. This is the ship he flew in. Oh, yeah? Yeah. What do you want to do with it? I don't know. Old Clem down the road, he said he'd give us $15 for it. I think we'll take it. Yeah. I think they made it the silverish color because they wanted it to look like Beskar, although we know it isn't Beskar because he didn't have that much Beskar to melt down to do it, and Pelimato is not an armorer. Um, I didn't. For some reason, everybody says they thought it was young Din Djarin, and for some reason, I just didn't. It didn't click to me that it could be him. I just thought that the Children of the Watch were growing bigger and adding on new recruits and foundlings and all that. And to me, it didn't click. Maybe I'm getting slow in my older age, but it didn't click for me at that time until somebody mentioned it in one of my comments. And my wife even said it. She said, I thought that was going to be him as a kid. I was like, I didn't even think of that. Yes. Episode or chapter 2. Yes. Chapter 2 or episode 2 is Latin. Which show are we talking about? Yeah. He and almost he kind of looked like maybe a young Boba Fett. Almost. He almost looked like Daniel Logan when he was young. So I thought maybe it could be another clone or something that passed through the ranks and is now still a child after 30 years. Yeah, I agree with you, Captain Howard, that it's Paz's son or foundling. It's got the same helmet colors, although not the same type. And what do y'all think about that wider visor on his helmet? It looks like one of those old Hasbro's, or was it even Hasbro at that time? One of those old helmets that had the wide visor so you could see through them. Vision? Pugh, who needs vision? And I'll tell you what, looking through Jeff's helmet back there, you have limited vision, especially as dark as I tinted his freaking visor. Wore it on Halloween night and about killed myself. But it's all for the fun. It's all for the kids. Huh, that'd be interesting, Brandon. All right, looks like we're about out of time here. My wife and I are going to go look for some pillows because I'm tired of waking up with a migraine every day. It's not fun. My pillows are hard as rocks. I might as well be sleeping on boulders that make my neck go like this. So, yeah, that's what that helmet at the beginning of the episode reminded me of. But remember, everybody, that Mandalorians do alter their armor. And a child's helmet may have that wider visor so they can see better and get used to it first. And then later on in life, they could alter it to the size of a regular helmet. Yep. So that's what I'm thinking. At least that's what's playing through my head, and I'm loving it. Um, get it back to tank. If those existed, I'd have one. Be right there on the floor, and I'd be in it about every night. Yeah, it's that time already. Sorry, guys. Um, I am going to have to go, and I appreciate you all so much. So, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today on this awesome live stream. If you haven't done it yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. That coming from your favorite producer, this guy, Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic. But I am going to go ahead and salute and say good night or good morning, good afternoon. When we hit that 25,000 subscriber mark, you guys are going to get a notice. And we're going to party like it's 1899. I promise. Um, Thank you all so much for joining. This is Gerald of Star Wars Fanatic signing off, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching. And remember, this is the way. And positivity in the Star